Enjoy the convenience of 7 days a week banking and extended hours with Cube from First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. By MinnowsPlus.com. From baits to waders, if it helps you catch a fish, they have it. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Back on episode 15 of From the Short Grass, I interviewed Arkansas women's golf coach Shauna Taylor. As of this episode's recording, Shauna and the Arkansas Razorbacks are the #1 ranked team in the country in the latest Golf Week rankings. And they have the #1 women's collegiate golfer in the country as well in Brooke Matthews. There's a long way to go before May in the NCAA championships, but not too bad right now. The Hogs will be back on the course at the Blessings Collegiate, followed by the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. Both of those tournaments will be played inside the state of Arkansas at the Blessings and the Alotian Club. Don't forget the Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits between Team Europe and the USA. You can watch on NBC, Golf Channel, and Peacock. The United States has won the Ryder Cup 26 times, while Europe has won it 14. In 2023, the Ryder Cup will be played at Marco Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy. In 2005, the matches will be back in the States in Farmingdale, New York at Bethpage State Park, the Black Course. And in 2027, Adair Manor in County Limerick, Ireland will host. I will have a full recap of the Ryder Cup matches on our next episode of From the Short Grass. Don't forget to go online and check out MinnowsPlus.com for all of your outdoor needs. Minnows Plus carries a full line of Frog Togs outerwear, and you can shop from the comfort of your home or office at MinnowsPlus.com. Coming up after the break, I sit down with Hot Springs Country Club General Manager and PGA professional Barry Howard.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. Trey asked me to sponsor a show for another few months. Even though I don't like golf, I do like a show. I have no idea how he gets the awesome variety of guests on his show, but it is entertaining and informative even for a horrible golfer like myself. I'm learning a lot about the game and about the passion for playing. So much so, I've started using my country club for more than Sunday brunch. Trey makes golf interesting. I make auctions interesting. For auctions, listen to me. For golf, listen to Trey. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Minnows Plus is your local source for live bait and live well supplies. They carry the entire line of SureLife products, everything from Better Bait and Finer Shiner to no ammonia products to keep your bait and your catch thriving till you get back to the dock. They are the best source for all your private land ponds. Minnows Plus has fish food and pond fertilizer to keep your pond healthy and thriving all year long. If you own or run a bait and tackle shop and need to resupply, contact Minnows Plus and ask about their wholesale prices. Open to the public and walk-ins are welcome. Find them on the web at MinnowsPlus.com.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Short Grass. I went down to Hot Springs Country Club and sat down to talk with General Manager and PGA of America professional Barry Howard. Barry is a member of the Arkansas State Golf Association Hall of Fame and currently sits on the executive committee of the Arkansas State Golf Association. He's a great guy, and I hope you enjoy this interview. On the tee, Barry Howard.
Barry Howard, thanks for joining me on From the Short Grass. You are the general manager here at Hot Springs Country Club, but you started out as the head golf professional at Hot Springs Country Club. But when did you first start playing golf?
Oh, my. I started about, I was 8 years old, so about 1970. So kind of started a long time ago. Back at Long Hills in Benton. Big junior golf program there, and very fortunate to grow up there because actually Mr. Martin, who owned the course, allowed us to join the course for $1.
Really?
For $1.
You don't see that nowadays.
No. But we could only play during the week, and you had to pay 40 cents to play 9 holes and 75 cents for 18 holes, or all day. They'd let you play all day if you paid 75 cents. So that was kind of my babysitting service for my mom. She was a single mom and went to work every day, so she'd drop me off during the summer, and during the week I played golf as much as I could, and that's really what got me started.
Long Hills, it was interesting. It was different. It was flat. It was an easy walk.
It was an easy walk. We had, that was part of it too. I carried my bag, played 36 holes, walked. It really wasn't that difficult.
When did you really fall in love with the game?
Probably the first time I played. I guess I had a knack that could hit the ball, and it was fun, and just enjoyed the difficulty of it, maybe, because it was something that didn't come easy. It was easy, but it wasn't easy to get to par or whatever you wanted to get to. So it was a challenge, and I always like challenges. If somebody tells you you can't do that, I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to do it. So that's kind of how I think golf is.
PGA Pro, Jeff Hamm.
Yes.
What does he mean to Barry Howard?
Not really having a dad growing up. You're going to get me a little emotional here. You're very fortunate to get people in your life that are good father figures, and that was kind of what he was to me, because I didn't have a dad really going to anything, and so I was at the golf course all the time, and he was there all the time as well. So I just hung out with him in the pro shop when I wasn't practicing or chipping and putting and doing whatever I did, and just became a bond there that we had to this day. He still comes out and does a starting for me in my college tournaments and my individual tournaments we have here, and it's just a great relationship we've had for 45 years.
I remember seeing him this past June here at your amateur tournament, coat and everything. It's 95 degrees with a heat index of 103, and he's out there in his green jacket with his PGA emblem on the chest of it and everything, and he starts you off just like he's doing it at a PGA championship.
And he's done it at a PGA championship. He's done it at a Ryder Cup. He's been in that role, and he just loves the PGA. He loves golf, and that's just him. He's old school. He taught me a lot about that. I'm a little less old school than he is, but obviously me wearing shorts today, he probably wouldn't like that. But,
you make the rules. You're the general manager
that's
now.
Right. So, he's old school, and he loves doing that. There's some old guys, especially in the tournament you're talking about, like Sam McAllister, even John May. Some of the guys I played with when I was 14, 15 at Long Hills. And I see those guys today. It's pretty fun.
Being a member of the PGA South Central section, which is what you are, what has it afforded you?
Oh, gosh. I wouldn't be here today. I know when they hired me. Being a PGA Golf Pro is a big part of that. The South Central section has been the only section I've been in, obviously being in Arkansas and growing up here. Actually, I won the South Central section PGA Junior Championship when I was 16. So that probably helped me being a PGA Golf Pro, because it just meant a lot to me to do that. And there was a guy named Hugh Edgman. There was a pro at Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club that we had a junior am before the tournament, and I played with him. And he called me after I won that tournament. And just him doing that really meant a lot to me. And I guess the South Central section has kind of made me what I am. So,
well, you're highly respected throughout the state. I know that. You are on the executive committee of the Arkansas State Golf Association now.
Yes, sir. I'm secretary.
Secretary of it, in line for the presidency at some point of the ASGA.
Yes, sir.
You would be the first PGA professional to become president. That has to mean something to you. If that happens.
Oh, absolutely. It's very special. Whenever Dennis Young, who actually took me to the Insurance Youth Golf Classic many years ago, 1979, I think, is when he took me.
From Texarkana, Arkansas, a member of Texarkana Country Club.
He was the person of the Insurance Youth Golf Classic back in that day, and I happened to qualify, and he was the one that took me up to Yale Country Club in New Haven. And he was the president, I think, of the ASGA, and they wanted to get a PGA Golf Pro on the board. And I guess back in the day, we hit it off, and that's kind of how it started. And so just to have the respect of those people, it means a lot. It really means a lot to be that person.
To see the change in the golf industry like you have from when you started at a young age and being in the pro shop with Jeff Hamm at Long Hills Golf Course there in Benton to now where you are, what gave golf that shot in the arm, that adrenaline that it needed in your mind?
It was, 20 years ago, Tiger Woods. I mean, he was really the person that really gave it the shot in the arm, and then COVID really has done amazing stuff for golf. Unbelievable. I hate what it's done for other people in the country. It's really affected people's lives, but for golf, it really, people got outside, played golf, and started playing again. I mean, it's been amazing what that's done.
Hot Springs Country Club hosts a lot of events, a lot of tournaments. Why?
Well, I have a great board. We're very fortunate to have 36 holes. So I just have always wanted to promote golf, and that's, my board has always allowed me to do that. And I've gone out and fortunate enough in some of the things that I've done that I've met a lot of people, and we've always been open. The rule is if I have one course open for the members, then we can do whatever we want on the other course, and they've always done that, and I've just pushed to get as many tournaments as we have. I've got that great relationship with the ASGA. We do the U.S. Open qualifying here for many years, and we love doing that. My superintendent does a wonderful job, and the golf courses are almost tournament shape every day. I mean, really, if somebody called and said, hey, we're struggling with something at a tournament, can you host this tournament? We've done that before.
And you did that last year with the State Am when COVID hit.
Absolutely, we did, and that's just how my board is. My superintendent's great. Trey Rutledge does a wonderful job with the golf courses. He's been here 25 years, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing what we have here, and very, very lucky to be at Hot Springs and Hot Springs Country Club.
Gulf South Conference, Henderson State comes up here and plays regularly. You mentioned it, the U.S. Open qualifying. You have a designated on the Arkansas State Golf Association calendar schedule. And then in October, you host the Randy Beaver Cup matches between the amateurs and the PGA pros.
Right.
What's that record, by the way?
We do a great job teaching amateurs how to play golf.
That's a good answer. I didn't expect you to go that way with it, but that's a great answer. I think I could give you the record.
I don't know. How good of teachers are we?
Pretty good.
There you go. Absolutely.
One guy that was a good teacher and that you brought up here from El Dorado was Tim Zimmereb.
Oh.
And I know that relationship that you two guys had was something special.
Yes.
When he passed unexpectedly, boy, that left a hole in Hot Springs Country Club, the South Central section of the PGA, and the entire state of Arkansas.
Absolutely. Tim, a very special man. We actually have a plaque down on the driving range, just in remembrance of him. His son Scott comes, quite often to play. It's great to see him. But yeah, Tim, it was a huge loss for our section, and our state. Along with Randy Beaver and John Ziske. I mean, we lost three great golf professionals in a short time there. That it was way too young to lose, and it really, because they were three of my best friends. I mean, we were together all the time. I mean, so at all our events, and it just really, it's a great loss for Arkansas.
That relationship that you have with the head pro here, you kind of oversee, but the big events, you help manage and run those events.
Yeah, growing up, I mean, being a head pro before I became general manager as well, I saw how difficult it was to try to manage tournaments, to run tournaments, and to give golf lessons and do all that stuff. So when I hired the head pro, and Philip does a wonderful job with running the tournaments and doing those things for us, but I saw how difficult it was to try to do all of them. So I kind of kept the planning and the running of the tournaments, the scheduling of the tournaments more on my part and my plate to keep him off the phone, to try to keep him, because I'm on the phone constantly. It's unbelievable the times I'm on the phone trying to schedule all these tournaments and talking to people and getting it done, but it's something I love to do, so I don't have any problem with it, but it frees them up for time to teach and to be with the members and do whatever they can to help the facility. So that's kind of what I did, and I've been fortunate to have some great golf pros. When I became general manager, I had a person in my back pocket the whole time when I was interviewing, and I kind of knew what was going on. And, to be able to get Jack O'Keefe in here first whenever I became general manager, have him as my head pro, that was a pretty special time. And then to replace him with Tim, and then now with Philip, it's been really good.
3 pretty good players right there, too.
Yeah, they were. So
I do know my record against one of them in the cup matches, though.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you probably do, but he's obviously a good teacher, too. So.
He was a good teacher. He was a great teacher.
So
when you look back at your career in golf, what sticks out?
Give it opportunities for kids.
Like your son?
Yeah. That's all I wanted to do.
Cameron McRae, I think of him.
Yeah.
Who is an outstanding player from down here. Seth Garner, who's now an assistant at Country Club of Little Rock with Daryl Shelton.
Yes, great person.
Oh, unbelievable person.
Yes.
You are about to become on the executive committee of the PGA of America.
Yeah, I'm in my shadow year of becoming a district director of District 7 for the PGA.
And so what all does that entail?
Meetings every month, being on committees. I'm on the National PGA Junior League Committee. I'm also on the Innovation Committee, which I asked them what that was, and they said, you innovate. So, but I've got a meeting there next month. Actually, I have a meeting here in about 20 minutes from the PGA Junior League. But a lot of meetings. We meet once a month also just for as a board. And you just run the business of the PGA. I mean, and a couple of the biggest things of the PGA's business is the PGA Championship, PGA Senior Championship, the KPMG LPGA Championship. So
and the Ryder Cup.
And the Ryder Cup, yes. The Ryder
That's
Cup.
a pretty big one.
It's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one.
This year it's going to be up in
Kohler,
Wisconsin, at Whistling Straits, and then next year it's going to be in Italy.
Yeah, 2 years. It's
2 years in Italy.
2 years it'll be in Italy. So pretty fortunate. One of the things that we get to do as a board member, it's kind of a perk, I guess you could say, is we get to announce on the first tee of those championships of the names of the players. It's kind of a big deal. Hadn't done it yet. Obviously, I'm in my shadow year and just watching some of my peers and my friends now be able to do that. And we're on a group text and just reading some of those texts and seeing how people react. It's pretty fun, and so it's a special thing, very special.
Next year, the PGA Championship in May is going to be close to home over in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Southern Hills, a great golf course, by the way. Have you looked at some of those that are already qualified, and have you been working on the names of the potential players you might have to announce?
Well, hopefully they'll give me some of the easier names, but they will. From what I understand, they send you a list of your grouping that you're going to have beforehand because they don't know who you're going to get, and they'll put the pronunciations and spell them for you, and hopefully I'll have an earpiece and they can help me along the way.
Or you go up to the player and say, how would you like me to pronounce your name?
I could do that. I mean, other than butcher it like I probably will. But I look forward to it. I know I have had some members say that they're going to be up there as well, so it'll be a kind of a special time.
Speaking of the membership, you talked about it a little bit earlier, the fact that the board allows you the time to host tournaments here when you deem necessary. But the fact that they allow you to be on these boards and these committees, that takes a lot of time as well.
It does take a lot of time, and I've gone to the board every time and explained to them what I've got. But they're pretty proud, I think, of what I've accomplished. To be on these boards and stuff, it's a vote of your peers. I mean, so it's pretty special to be. When I was elected to the district directorship from our section, just how surreal it was that your peers thought that highly of you, So it means a lot. And then the board is as you are asking, and our owners, the Scott family, just, I explained to them what it was, and they understand a lot of that. A lot of our tournaments that we get, like the NCAA Division II Super Regional, we're having this next year of the women. We had one a couple years ago of the men. I mean, just some of those events we get have come from some of those relationships that I've had with these other people, and, they're pretty proud of some of the things I've accomplished.
But they also understand that it doesn't just help keep or put Hot Springs Country Club on the map. It's the city of Hot Springs and the money that it brings in when you have tournaments like that here, because those NCAA Division II teams, they're going to have to stay somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, we 100%. You're exactly right. I mean, the A&P of Hot Springs, I hope they're happy with some of the events that we have, because we've had a lot of events in the last few years, and we'll have more to continue. I mean, because it's really a special place.
Okay, a couple of quick questions here. What favorite golf course you've ever played besides here?
Besides Arlington Golf Course and the Park Golf Course?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But take Long Hills out.
You talking about in the state or just anywhere?
Anywhere, because you've played a lot of them.
I have been very fortunate to play a lot of golf courses. The old course, St. Andrews.
What about it?
Just the history. I couldn't hardly bring it back on the first tee.
Really?
Absolutely. Just because of everything that, I'm kind of an emotional person, as you can tell. And just thinking about everything that happened.
Who all's played there?
There's just the history of golf, very special. So that's probably it.
Did it rain on you that day?
Not a bit. It was in a drought. It was in July, and they were having a drought.
So it was brown as all could go.
It was brown as it could be. I mean, not that I'm bragging or anything. I'm not.
What'd you shoot?
Well, I shot 76, I think, was the best round I shot, but I drove 9 and 10 back to back, which was pretty, but it was so dry. I mean, you could hit it forever, even back in 1980-something with a balata ball and wooden clubs or whatever I had. I don't remember. But
how many bunkers were you in?
There was a lot of them. It was pretty amazing. I did have one guy that they paired us with one time, and on number one, we told him the greens were really fast, because they were at that time probably the fastest greens they ever played. Being in that drought probably affected that a lot too. But the pin was cut up by that the berm right there on the front there, and we told him, man, they're really fast, and he putted it right off into the creek.
Oh, no.
And like 3 holes later on the double greens, he was on the far left side on like one of the other holes and putted it, and it was like a 150-yard putt and made it. So,
no way!
So it was pretty funny.
Wow.
One of those things you remember, from playing there.
What's in your bag?
Oh gosh, in my bag, pretty much all ping. Everything's ping. I grew up playing Wilson Staffs. Then I had a really good relationship with Ping. Brad White, our Ping sales rep, is who it was before. He's obviously now with FootJoy, and that relationship put pings in my golf bag. So it's just everything's ping. I've still got the iron.
Okay.
I had 59s and then 57s, whatever they were, and then went to the irons, and they're 6, 8 years old. Just don't know, like the way they feel. The new ones, the 210s, 200s, I don't know, just didn't feel the same.
I understand that. All right, I'm probably going to get into your emotions again here.
Uh-oh.
When it's all said and done, what will you remember most about your career, history, and the game of golf?
Yeah, you did get into my emotions there. I guess the biggest thing would be that I remember most. It's not really a remember most to me. It's, I hope I've touched somebody's life the way Hugh Edgman touched my life, the way Jeff Ham touched my life. That's really the only reason I go to work, just to touch lives. That's really it. Sorry, I'm emotional.
No, I get it. I mean, I've got tears in my eyes too, because I know how important it is to you.
Yes, it is.
I said last question, but being a member of the Arkansas State Golf Association Hall of Fame, here's another one to get into your feels.
Yeah.
How does that feel, though?
Never dreamed growing up at Long Hills all this would happen to me. I just go to work, I do what I do. And so it's just special. I mean, just to be able to be there with your family, that's the biggest part of it. It's great to be honored by your peers and be honored by the SGA and everybody, and just have the respect of everybody. It's unreal. I have really no words to describe it. It's just special.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. Trey asked me to sponsor a show for another few months. Even though I don't like golf, I do like a show. I have no idea how he gets the awesome variety of guests on his show, but it is entertaining and informative even for a horrible golfer like myself. I'm learning a lot about the game and about the passion for playing. So much so, I've started using my country club for more than Sunday brunch. Trey makes golf interesting, I make auctions interesting. For auctions, listen to me. For golf, listen to Trey. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Minnows Plus is your local source for live bait and live well supplies. They carry the entire line of Sure Life products, everything from better bait and finer shiner to no ammonia products to keep your bait and your catch thriving till you get back to the dock. They are the best source for all your private land ponds. Minnows Plus has fish food and pond fertilizer to keep your pond healthy and thriving all year long. If you own or run a bait and tackle shop and need to resupply, contact Minnows Plus and ask about their wholesale prices. Open to the public and walk-ins are welcome. Find them on the web at minnowsplus.com.
Put this on your calendar. On November 3rd and 4th, Blackman Auctions will be having the Arkansas Department of Transportation Truck and Equipment Auction. It will be at 425 Blackman Road in Lone Oak. For more information, visit blackmanauctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. On the tee with our weekly rules segment, it's PGA Master Professional Adam Carney.
Adam, question about match play. Player A is on the green but 60 feet from the hole. Player B is in a penalty area, in water, 25 feet from the hole. So who plays first here?
Order of play is determined by the ball that's furthest from the hole. And as we know in match play, if you play out of turn, otherwise you're closer to the hole and you play, your opponent can cancel that stroke and cause you to replay it. So the circumstance contemplates we've got a ball that's on the green 60 feet from the hole, a ball that's in a penalty area that is closer. We always go by the relative position of the golf balls as they lay to determine order of play.
And so the relative position of this golf ball is at the bottom of that penalty area
Right.
in the water.
So let's assume he's not going to play it. So yes, under those circumstances, because he is closer to the hole, he would not be the person whose turn it would be to play, even though he's probably going to proceed under the penalty area to drop it. It may ultimately be further. It's the proximity of the golf balls when they were at rest. So under the circumstances, the person that was 60 feet from the hole would putt first, and then the player would play, which may be 100 yards away. We consider the lie of the golf ball and whose turn it is to play without considering a player proceeding under a rule which may cause him to be further away.
But let's say that player A, who is on the green, really knows this rule. Player B does not. Mm-hmm. And so as player A is looking at his putt, trying to determine, okay, where am I going to hit this? He's the one that's 60 feet away. All of a sudden, he sees player B go, and he drops. And now player B is out, and he pulling a club. He's ready to hit. He hits, and let's say it's up there within 2 feet. Player A goes, wait a second, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
He goes, well, my ball's in play back here. Yeah, it's in play.
It's in play once he put it, when he dropped it, right? But,
right.
But the relative position of the golf balls, as
when they were at rest,
determined that the player that was 60 feet away from the hole would be the one to play first. We see it a lot with, lateral penalty areas where both balls enter. You may have one ball that is further into the penalty area but actually cross the penalty area at a spot further back. So under those circumstances, we're going to take, okay, who plays first under those circumstances, and it's the relative position of the golf balls.
Sometimes it's hard to determine who's away.
It is. And it's not a huge issue, I don't think. We don't see it a lot.
I've seen the rules officials pull string out of their pocket.
Oh, without question. It's in every rules official's rules bag. I have dental floss in mine, just to determine boundaries. You try and determine if a ball's inbounds or out of bounds. There's nothing in the rules that say how thick that line must be. Some people carry string. Chip Essig, a friend of mine, is on the rules committee, carries dental floss, and I thought, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. So, we carry dental floss because it's about as thin as you can get.
Yeah, just don't run out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, some people use fishing line to mark.
That's pretty thin too.
Yeah, trying to mark those spots to determine whether that ball's in or out.
You can get some good fishing line at minnowsplus.com, one of our great sponsors.
There you go.
He's Adam Carney. I'm Trey Schaap. If you have a question on the rules of golf, email us at fromtheshortgrass@gmail.com.
I leave you with this golf quote from NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Marino. Swing hard in case you hit it. That'll do it for this edition of From the Short Grass. I hope you have a great round the next time you are on the course, and when you find your ball mark, repair it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you from the short grass.
You've been listening to From the Short Grass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. From the Short Grass is brought to you by MinnowsPlus.com and Blackman Auctions. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.